Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's Sovereign Life team call. It is May 2nd, and it's the start of a new month, but obviously we want to start this call off just by recognizing the wins that happened last month. First and foremost, we had an incentive for last month, and it had to do with getting new auto ship orders and reaching a certain number of PGPV, and I want to recognize both Savannah and Elena for their amazing achievements last month. I'm just going to pull it up in my chat so I can really nail in on what it was. Yes, okay. So congrats to Savannah for sponsoring a new consultant that does 500 PPV. I think that was Megan that she's talking about. So also congrats to Megan because it's both of your wins. And also for 2,500 PGPV, that's amazing. Great way to close off the month, Sav. We're so proud of you. And also Elena qualified for 2,500 PGPV and 2 new auto ship orders. Congrats, Elena. That's really awesome to hear. And then I also gave a special shout out to Sam because Sam, I just feels like the queen of sales. I don't know how she does it, but she has been the most consistent person on our team in terms of making really good amounts of personal sales. And I'm just always so impressed with you, Sam. So yeah, she did 2017 PPV, which is personal point volume this month, and has 1 new auto ship order. So congrats, Sam. Also, I just really love, Sam, if you could share a little bit with the team about how this month went, what your activities were that led you to reaching that PPV. And then I know you also made a few investments in yourself and in your business. So yeah, just share a little with us.
Sure. I mean, I think at the beginning of the month when we did our goal setting, that really was what set the tone and what kind of put me on the trajectory to actually achieve those goals. And so at the beginning of the month, my goal was to reach out to all of my current customers and get them on auto ship, and then see if anyone they knew needed waterfalls as well, and incentivize them with the offers. And honestly, it was when I made those goals, I was uncomfortable with the idea of doing them, but I was like, I'm gonna get it done. And then throughout the month, I posted a few times, looking back, I wish I posted more, did more, but truly the people really came to me as well. So I reached out to my existing customers to do the auto ship order. And she, before even telling her about the incentive, she was like, I want to buy another waterfall. So I was like, okay, amazing. And then again, with another customer who I reached out to, she randomly just followed up and was like, I want to buy another waterfall. And I was like, okay, great. And then through that, I asked her if I told them about the incentive and wanted ask them if they knew anyone who would be interested, and I would be more than happy to, share the information with them. And one of the customers was like, already have someone, don't even worry about it. Let's just buy it right now. And I was like, perfect. So we got her a set of 2. And then the other order, we were actually looking for, or she was looking for someone to buy it with. And she just said, once she has them, she'll be able to show it to all of her friends. So I made the decision as well to purchase the other waterfall from her and basically invest in that product as a sample. So my mom also wanted to purchase one. So we have now one in the house that I can have at all times, and also one that I'm going to allow now for customers to use whenever they need it. So it's almost like a sample that I'm going to allow people to, try it out for a week, see how you like it, and really give them the opportunity to see the benefits as opposed to just learning about it as well. So I'm really excited that I made that investment. And then I also just decided that with the amazing offer, and with the new waterfalls that I was selling, I was like, this is a perfect opportunity to invest in my business even more. So I bought the shower heads as well, which I was something I've really been passionate about, is that how important the water is on your skin. And I'm so excited I bought 2 of them as well, so I could either use it as a sample for the second one, or you know, just have it in case someone wants to buy it off me right away. So I'm like so happy with those purchases, but also like that it was really, people came to me and I really like openly like set my energy out there so that people were attracted to me. And I think that like made such a huge difference. And it was something that I had to shift my perspective in. And I think that's really what made it happen. Yeah.
Wow. Well said, Sam. Thanks so much for sharing that. Honestly, I think like you said, the goal setting is so crucial. It really just makes a whole big difference in your frequency and then starts to change your behaviors. And then of course, different behaviors bring different responses. Like if you hadn't reached out to those people, those sales wouldn't have happened, you know?
Yes.
And I
And
think,
also
yeah.
so the fifth waterfall that I sold was actually to my Zia, who came on with one of our calls, our waterfall, like water calls. And she said she really enjoyed the call and like learning about it from Ellen and Savannah. So shout out to them as well, because they facilitated that call and like basically helped me make that sale. So that information definitely did help as well. So that was yeah. So 6
That's
waterfalls this month. And
woo, girl, that bonus is gonna be sweet.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Congratulations. I love it. And yeah, wow, you've sold 6 waterfalls this month. That is a really, really, really amazing like result. I'm so proud of you. And I feel like this is just so natural for you because you really like, although you are uncomfortable talking to people, you do it anyways and you speak with confidence, which is the best thing. What was I gonna say? Oh, I was gonna say, first of all, thanks for that feedback about the call, like the product testimonial call, because I think that really shows that what the impact of that call can be if you invite a guest. Like if you know someone is like a little bit, maybe they're in the process of learning about a product, and then you're like, hey, come to our call to learn more about it. Like no pressure to buy. We just want you to like know. I think that will give them the confidence they need to like make a purchase. And honestly, I don't know why I didn't think about that this month, because I think that would have really helped me like have some sales go through that didn't go through, is if I had put them on that call. And then
and when I invited her as well, it was really, so it was my Zia. And so I just said, listen, I don't know what you're doing tomorrow, but like I set a goal for myself this month just to tell people, like educate people as much as possible about this waterfall. And I'd love for you to learn about it and see if you like it. And so I never even mentioned like wanting to sell an amount or anything like that. It was really just like, I want to teach as many people as I can. And she was more than happy to join. And like I followed up with her and she was like, yeah, I'm interested. But you know, I don't really know. And then right at the end of the month, she's like, oh, can I still buy it? Like, is the thing still happening? So it was all the energy and like definitely the information that was shared definitely sold her for sure. So
I love how you said that you have a goal to educate as many people as possible this month. Because then it's like, you know, when you are clear and upfront about with people about the fact that you have a goal to reach. I mean, look at what happened with Savannah in the month of March. She was very upfront and clear about the fact that, hey, I set this goal for myself. And like, if you're interested in any way, it would really help me achieve this goal, because then people always want to feel like they're helping you. You know, everyone wants to feel like they're helping someone, especially when you care about the person or you respect and admire the person. So I really like that you said like, hey, I have this goal to educate as many people as possible. Like, are you down to come and learn? Because it would help me achieve this goal. And then of course she feels like she's helping you out and she gets to learn about a really cool product in the process. And then, you know, eventually made the purchase. So that's really, really good to know. And I think it could be a really good approach for all of us to use too, moving into this month. So yeah, we have goal setting, right? And then of course, being like open and honest about that goal, really like sharing that goal with people because people want to help you achieve your goals. I also think it's helped a lot that you've set up a really strong customer base already. And I know a big part of how that happened was us doing in-homes together. So,
100%.
so when Sam first launched her business, we did an in-home, meaning like me and my dad went to her house and we brought a bunch of our products. And Sam was responsible basically for inviting as many people as possible to come to her house. And we had a good group of people. I think it was like 7 people. But like, it was funny because she had like 15 confirmed and then like 7 people actually showed up. It was mostly family members. But we did the presentation, and I think that started to give Sam a little bit more confidence speaking to people about the products because she could see the live reactions. And then we did another in-home at a family friend's house, like a few weeks after that. So if in-homes, yeah, sorry, go ahead, Sam.
I was just going to say, it was actually someone who couldn't come to the first one and she wanted to do one with her whole family. And like, I'm going to say the biggest thing that's helped so much is just like leaning on your family, because my mom specifically has been such a huge accelerator in my business too, just by like telling her friends about it and trying the products herself. And so like, do not be afraid to like use the people around you, even if you think like, oh no, I need to just like reach out to people on my own or like do it a certain way. It's so organic how it can happen as well, just by like confiding in
I'm
people.
curious to get your answer on this, but like, what would you say to somebody who maybe their family like isn't supportive or like isn't really health conscious? They're not willing to like make this type of investment.
I think like as a consultant ourselves, like it's definitely worth it to invest in the products on your own as well. So that way, even if they're not directly buying it, they can try out your products, or you can like be like, oh, you hurt yourself, like let me help you out, I have the Meg Flex or whatever. And or you know, you're not feeling well, like drink the water or try the immunity pills. Like really like just being able to provide them with solutions when they need it, and then when it actually does happen, they're like, wow, this actually works, or whatever the case. And then really like building on that as well, and just saying like, and knowing, you know, there's so many important reasons why it is so helpful to like choose your health first. And so like the more people know, the better. Like with all of our customers, if they're drinking tap water and they don't realize the benefits or don't care, like we can obviously educate them and just help them along. And with family, it's easy because you can kind of build it into different conversations sometimes, and like just really grow on it, and don't necessarily have to do it all at once, but it's over time.
I think that's a really good point. I think another great option, if you know you're listening to this and you find yourself in that scenario, is to ask your family members who they know. You know, to be like, hey, I know maybe you're not into all this stuff, but I'm sure that you know at least one person who is very health conscious or very entrepreneurial minded, who's a self-starter, someone who's super hardworking and, you know, really likes to take good care of themselves, is really concerned about like aging well, whatever. You can use whatever you think is the best lingo with the person you're talking to, and see and reach into their network and be like, you would be helping me out so much if you gave me one name. Just one name would make like the biggest difference for me in my business. And you know, I think at the very least, maybe your family member is like, oh, I'm not buying that thing from you, I don't have the money for that, whatever their reason is. But you can still, you know, they can still help you in other ways. So letting them know that they can still help and support your business in other ways, I think is really great as well. So yeah, and then of course that helps you to start to build like a customer base, so that when there's promotions going on and when we want to like start getting those auto ship orders, it's easy to just go back to your existing customers and ask for help. And yeah, I really commend you for doing that, Sam. I think it's great you took the time, you know, you set that time aside and you reached out to people, and because you had your energy in the right place already, it was just very seamless. And yeah, I'm just really proud of you. And I thank you for all the wisdom that you've shared with us. Do you guys, anyone on the team, do you guys have questions for Sam? Because if you're like talking to sales, like wise, like she's the expert here.
I don't know about that, but
All right.
but if you ever do, just send me a message, like separately or in the group chat, whatever, and I'm always happy to help in any way I can.
Mhm.
Honestly, I miss doing in-homes. So like if anyone wants to do those, I'm actually down. While
Yeah,
Sophia's
honestly,
away.
Sam would be an awesome person to do an in-home with. That's what I was gonna say. If you guys are interested in setting up an in-home, I think that is a really awesome way to get your business kick-started and to really get you into that entrepreneurial mindset. And to see firsthand like what somebody's reaction was. Like Maddie, I remember you even told me when you and Megan got together and then did you use the Meg duo on her or the insoles or something like that?
So I gave her my insoles to try and she was like, holy shit. Like she noticed it right away. Anyone that I let use the insoles, their mind is blown every single time.
And then how does that make you feel?
Makes me be like, wow, like this, because like obviously I know it works, but to see someone else know for sure that it works, I'm like, okay, like this product is clearly amazing. Like, why am I not promoting this more?
Right. Then you start feeling like, okay, I like have a duty to like tell people about this, you know? So yeah, if you guys want to start doing in-homes, basically you just have products on display in your home and do like a short presentation, maybe do some demos. Your responsibility is really to invite as many people as possible. I think Sam is really knowledgeable, especially about the water products. And I mean, she's heard me do in-homes for like water and energy and sleep. And it's so funny, but when we were doing an in-home, she was like recording me and I didn't even know. And she was recording my presentation so she could listen back to it and like learn what I want to say.
Yeah, well, I'm not at Sophia's like speaking like eloquency yet, but definitely like had to record her because she's like, I'm leaving for like South America soon. And I'm like, hey girl, who's gonna do these with me? So I had to record her. And then yeah, I literally like scripted it out after that in-home so that way I could like read it over and like actually take the points away and like learn what she was saying. So I also have that like script also, which I still have to like edit, but yeah, so anyone wants that, I can send that as well.
Yeah.
But Soph definitely been super helpful in being like the facilitator of those as well. So
I mean, Savannah's also home next week, and my dad is there at your disposal, and he will happily do an in-home with you. Like he will bring, if there's products you don't have, like he will bring them to your home and like he will do the presentation too, because he is really like the expert. So, and I'm sure if any one of you reached out to him with a text saying like, hey, Mike, I want to do an in-home, he would be thrilled about that. But then, you know, then you have the responsibility of having to fill that in-home up with guests. And we know the rule of thirds means that, you know, if you invite 30 people, 10 people will probably confirm, and then like 2 or 3 people will actually show up. So you have to be willing to like really talk to a lot of people and get those invites out. But it's so worth it. I mean, look at the results Sam has been getting ever since she set her business off on that right tone, and she really worked on gaining that customer base. She just got enough people in the right room and educated them about the products, and now those people are talking to people, right? She's not even having to go out and find customers. Her customers are finding customers for her. So that's really, yeah, that's the power of doing it in homes and being willing to like reach out to people and build that strong customer base. And I think Sam, you've done it so beautifully.
thank you.
Yeah, that's why this summer it's like in-person events, like it's a must. I think we should plan like at least once a month doing an in-person event, not just for the summer, like for the months moving forward. Because then that's kind of, it really helps it with our rhythm. Hold on. Cat in the frame. Okay. Something else that I wanted to touch on tonight was we have a whole bunch of new incentives to go for the month of May. So I'm just going to reread my dad's message here. And Hold on, let me find it. All right, May sponsoring incentive. To spice things up in May, I'm adding to the fun and rewards for consultants on the Sovereign Life team who focus on team building. The following are the requirements for May to be entered into a draw for one of 3 prizes. So guys, this is for our team. Our team is small, okay? There's 3 prizes on the line. So you don't have like insane amount of competition. This isn't like the lottery. This is like a small, and it's like, I think some healthy competition between all of us as well. But there's 3 prizes, $1,000, $500, and $250. You sponsor your first new consultant, you have 1 draw ticket. If you have a second new consultant, you have 3 draw tickets. If you have a third new consultant, you have 5 draw tickets. 4th new consultant, you have 7 draw tickets. And if you have 5th new consultant, you have 10 draw tickets. The new consultant must buy or sell for a minimum of 250 PPV, which hopefully if they're investing in their own products, you know, if they're going for that Power Start incentive, they will do more than 250 PPV. First prize is 1,000, second prize 500, third prize 250. Draw will be held and shown on WhatsApp June 15th. Have a great May. So I think that is really amazing. Someone in our team is going to be winning $1,000 as a bonus, which is really great. And, you know, my dad did this specifically set up so that it's a team building incentive, because I think last month was really all about sales. And now we need to be able to, like, as business builders, as community builders, we need to be able to run both gears. We need to be able to make sales, and then we also need to be able to build our team, because that's where we're going to see the residual income happen. It's, you know, the sales that you make on your own, that's great, but that's still you putting in the work to make that. And if you stop working, if you stop making sales, you're going to stop making money. Of course, the auto ship really helps. That's like a passive form of income, because then every 3 months, you know, that auto ship's going to go through and you're going to get your commission. But majority of your retail, you know, commissions is going to be you putting in work every month to make those sales happen. But if you start building a team, that's when we really get into the passive income, the residual income, where now you're not just making money based on your efforts, but on the efforts of your team as well. And the bigger your team grows, the less necessary you are in your business. Right now, technically, every sale that any of us make, my dad is making a percentage of that. You know, he's not on all our calls. Like, he's not, yes, he supports our team in a lot of ways. He's putting out these incentives for us, right? That's him reinvesting in his business. But he doesn't really have to do so much to keep the engines running. And he's worked hard to build that for himself. You know, it wasn't easy, but it's been worth it because he's enjoyed a really nice life. And I think the reason we're all here is because we want the same, which means we have to be able to be community builders. We can't just be salespeople. So that's what this month is going to be all about. It's going to be an opportunity for us to practice building that team. And the beautiful thing is that in the process of bringing people into our sphere, our Sovereign Life bubble, some will just choose to be customers. Some will really appreciate learning about some of the products and want products. I mean, I've seen it happen enough times in my business where I've invited somebody to be a consultant and they've ended up just being a customer instead, which is great, because then we're still, it's still a win for us. You know, we're still going to get paid from that activity. And my dad has always said to me that really, if you want to be like successful in network marketing and build a multi-million-dollar business, you can't go out with the intention of selling them something. You have to go out with the intention of building your team. That has to always be the goal. So I want to give like a little review of what the process is, because it's a simple process. There's a few steps to it. Really, there's 3 main steps to this process. And this is like the first thing I learned when I started my business, what my dad taught us. And really, the process that you're taking somebody through, it's not to convince them of anything or to sell them anything or manipulate them into anything. It's to educate them so that they can make the best decision for themselves. And that education process consists of 3 conversations: why, how, and what. So the why conversation is first, why are we having this conversation? Why am I talking to you? Why are you talking to me? And really the start of that conversation should be, why am I talking to you, specifically you? So when you're reaching out to somebody, or when maybe you put out a poll on Instagram and somebody says like, yeah, I want to learn more, you're going to get on a phone call with them. You're going to want to learn more about them, because you want to know, like, why are you somebody that I want to work with? Maybe if you know this person already, you know, hey, you're somebody who, like, and these are emotional reasons, you're somebody who, like, I honestly admire and respect, and I love spending time with. You're somebody who, you know, I see so many like amazing characteristics in you that inspire me to be better. Like, why is this someone, like, if you're thinking of a friend, why is that friend coming to mind? Why is she somebody that you would want to do business with? Maybe if you don't know the person, they're just somebody who reached out to you via a poll, or you don't know them like super well, they're kind of acquaintances. And you're going to be like, hey, what about like my poll or my story intrigued you? What stood out to you? You know, and try and really see what is it they're interested in, or they're passionate about, or like ask them questions about their lives right now, and then you'll really see where their values lie and what kind of person they are, and you can assess for yourself whether this is somebody that you want to be working with or not. So yeah, first it's like, why am I choosing you? Then you want to say, why are you choosing me? Why do I think that Niken is something, like the Sovereign Life team specifically, is something that would be in alignment for you? And for this reason, we go to the 5 pillars. So you really want to identify which of those 2 pillars are most important to this person. Maybe you already know if they're a close friend or family member, and you could say to them like, hey, so I'm reaching out to you because A, B, and C. And the reason I thought of you is because I know that you're super health oriented. You're always going to the gym. You're always buying organic. You know, you're always giving me all these little health nuggets. And that, you know, family is really important to you, and you never feel like you have enough time with your family. Maybe those are the 2 pillars for them. If you don't know, then you just ask them questions. Like, literally, just our business is really about talking to people and talking to them beyond the surface level. You know, usually we have such surface level conversations with each other, we're not really speaking to each other's souls. We have the opportunity to really sit down with someone and be like, okay, cut the shit. Like, what do you really want out of your life? Like, what is actually important to you? If money wasn't an object, what would you do every single day? You know, like, what is your secret dream? These are questions that I ask people that I barely even know. And you'd be surprised about just being the person to ask them that question is doing them a service, because you're reminding them of what really is important and why they're here. And we don't have those conversations with each other enough. You know, we certainly don't have those conversations in school. Most people aren't getting together in their friend groups and asking each other those questions. You know, or at the dinner table, it's not like a normal conversation like, oh, hey, sweetie, like, when do you feel most fulfilled? You know? So imagine if you can be that person. Hey, Rose, bye, thanks for joining us. Imagine if you can be that person for somebody who really like reminds them of what is important to them. And they're gonna leave that conversation, no matter what the outcome is, they're gonna leave that conversation feeling so, so good. You know, because you really took an interest in them. You were really curious about what they care about, what they're passionate about, and what they want their life to look like. You know, I think we need to be asking ourselves the question every single day, what do I want? What do I really, truly want? Because that is going to be your compass through life. So that's what that first conversation is really about. It's about the why. It's establishing the reason, why am I talking to you? Why are you talking to me? Why do I think Niken could be a good path for you to explore? And then what you want to do is you want to invite them to learn more. That's it. You're just saying, hey, since you've told me X, Y, and Z, I think this would be really great for you to explore. We have a whole script on the why conversation on the drive, by the way. Maddie, I don't know if you have seen that. Have you seen there's a, I'm just asking you because you're the newest person here on our call, but have you seen the YouTube video about how to have the why conversation? Contact and invite YouTube video?
I think I saw it like a while ago.
Yeah. It's good to have a review, but honestly, me and you can get on a call and we can do a little bit of practice because I think that's really important. And anyone, honestly, the invite's open to anyone if anyone wants to do some practice before actually getting on a call with somebody. But I think like there's no, although we have a script to help you with your words, if you're doing it the first time, the script is meant to be made your own. You know, we want it to be authentic as possible. Like really the key in the why conversation is to be curious. And it's such a crucial conversation when it comes to, you know, this person deciding whether they're going to join the team or not, because if you don't go deep enough, if you don't really find out what makes them tick, then it's like, why, you know, they're not going to feel like they really have a reason to explore the information. And, you know, if they do start the process and kind of start to like go off track or forget why they started in the first place, you won't be able to remind them. You know, something that's really helped me along the way is like, you know, somebody will tell me their why, and if I know it's like a really strong why, but then they'll start going through the information and it's like they don't really care, or they'll like, you know, not answer messages and all this. And then I can, you know, say like, hey, I invited you into this process because you told me that this is what you want. You told me you want this kind of lifestyle. You told me that this is your biggest dream. You told me that you really care about like your health and wellness, you know, but I don't see you acting like it. Are you willing to like go, is this something that's really important to you on a scale of 1 to 10? And although it's very uncomfortable to be that direct with people, it's never actually ended badly for me. No one has actually ever gotten like pissed off. In fact, they've been like, you're right, like, and then been completely direct with me about like, either, you know, I actually do want to take the time to do this and like, I want to pursue this, or being like, you know what, I actually don't have the capacity for this. So instead of just like kind of them like not being very direct with me and like giving me like little things here and there and being unclear, but then I'm like giving my energy and my time away. That when you're direct with someone, they have no choice but to be direct with you. And then you're not wasting any time and you're able to like actually support that person in the best way possible. So that's why the why conversation is super important, because you have to really establish that reason. And that's what's going to, you know, help them and remind them of why they're going through the information, why they're taking the time out of their already busy lives to learn about something new. And yeah, and we want to invite them on an ABC. I would definitely recommend everyone like re-watch the contact and invite. If you want to have like a really strong month, maybe set a goal for yourself of how many people you want to sponsor. Obviously, we know how important goal setting is, as we've just heard from Sam. So yeah, set that goal for yourself, write it down day and night, because that's going to also influence who you attract. Another thing I would really recommend is like sitting down and writing yourself, kind of like, you know, how you would write yourself like a list of all the things you want in a romantic partner. Do that in a business partner as well. Create like an avatar of like the perfect business partner. Because when you get clear, you know, when you tune the signal and you get super clear about what you want to attract, it's going to come to you. It's going to come your way. So of course, there's like the physical side of this, and then there's like the energetic side. I'm kind of bouncing all over the place, guys. So let me know if you need me to slow down or like stop and ask questions or anything. But let's get back to the physical side, the why, how, and the what. So yeah, then you're gonna, from the why conversation, I'd like to invite you into this process of information. The first step is to meet my business partner. And at that point, you will set up an ABC. So, you can set it up with me, Savannah, or Elena, or my dad, whoever you personally feel is going to be the best for your biz. Obviously, like if I'm your upline, like come to me. If Savannah's your upline, go to her. If Elena's your upline, go to her. And if any of us aren't available for whatever reason, we'll send you to like Elena or Savannah. And then if you feel that this person should be meeting my dad, then don't hesitate to reach out to him. Like maybe it's someone in an older generation, or maybe you just know that like this person would really benefit from hearing his story, or that this person, maybe they're a male and you think they would resonate more with hearing from my dad. It could be any reason. You have to make the executive call on that. If you know that a community of girlfriends is really important to this person, obviously don't put them on a call with my dad, put them on a call with like me or like Savannah or Elena, and set up that ABC, because the ABC is really powerful and helps that person really feel like they're being seen and they're being heard, and validates the business. Now it's not you doing the talking, it's somebody who is a little bit more experienced doing the talking and answering the questions. That's called leverage. So that's really your goal with the why conversation, is to set up the ABC. Now they're going to hear a personal story on there. They're going to get some more like one-on-one time, one-on-one questions answered. And then I would invite them to a Tuesday night call to learn about products, and maybe a Thursday night call to learn more about business. And that's when they'll meet my dad and they'll see like really the mentorship. We want somebody to really understand that this is, there's many moving parts to this. There's the products, there's the business, there's the community. There's so many different benefits to joining us. And so that's why it's a process of exploration, and we're responsible for guiding somebody through that process. And that's why we have our weekly calls in place. That's why we have the Tuesday night calls and the Thursday night calls. It's for prospects. It's to get them informed. So and they're tools. They're tools to help us educate our prospects without us actually having to do the talking, Like somebody who's new coming into this business, the reason that they can really succeed is because they don't have to know everything right away. You have your upline to leverage. You have me and Savannah and Elena and my dad doing most of the talking on our calls, because we know that we're the most like informed. We know we've had the most experience, and we want you to be able to leverage that. So you're bringing new people and they're hearing from us. It makes your job a little bit easier while you are still taking the training wheels off, and while you're still like figuring out, oh, okay, this is how I describe this product. Oh, this is like how I would explain the business to someone. This is how I would answer that question. This is how I would answer this question. This is how I would handle this objection. And you're going to learn it by going through this process and by taking people through this process. When I was going silver, which was in like, I think July of last year, I brought 30 people through the process. That's how I was able to hit silver within 3 months from like starting my business. I did like direct to executive to silver. And it was only because like I was taking a lot of people through this process in a short period of time. And that's how I really learned to be so self-sufficient in the business too. That's the only reason I can sit here and explain the process to you so well. It's because I've been through it so many times. The only reason I can do ABCs for you is because I've heard my dad do ABCs so many times. And so when you do that, you become like, you naturally develop those skills as well. And that's why it's like personal development as well. So at the very least, like think about going through this process as a benefit to you, because it's going to teach you how to become that leader and to really like be able to be that person for other people then that you're bringing on. I know when you're starting, it's really scary because you feel like, how am I going to lead this person through, through building their own business when I've never done it myself? And the facts are you're not going to right away, but that's why you have people who can help you. Your job isn't to like be that person yet. It's to leverage the people who can be that person. That's why I leverage my dad constantly, because he has built what I want and I don't have it yet, you know, but he does. So I know I can introduce someone to him, and he can answer the tough questions. So that's why I think this is a process that really works if we use it right. And if we don't like shoot ourselves in the foot because we think we have to know it all. You don't have to know it all. You just have to be willing to invite people to learn more and to, you know, leverage the resources that you have available to you. So yeah, the calls that we have is like the how and then the what conversation. I mean, that's really like Thursday night. My dad will really like hammer down on business necessities and like what it's going to take for you to get going and get started. And then hopefully by then really it's just about like, if somebody's been through all this information, follow up. Like if they're not giving you a clear yes or no, follow up. And if you need help with what to say, reach out to your upline, because we'll help you with the words so that somebody will give you a clear yes or no. Because I know the worst thing is when someone's not being direct with you. And really, we want to help people make decisions that are in their best interest. None of us are taught how to make decisions. And the most successful people in the world are people who make decisions quickly and change them rarely. So, but you know, that's only like literally 1% of the population. So we want to help people get better at making decisions. That's a service that we're providing. And when it comes to, you know, whether you're going to start your own business and whether you're going to do it with the Sovereign Life team, that's a decision that you have to be able to make. And the faster we can help somebody make that decision, the faster our businesses are going to grow. And then the faster that person's business is going to grow, and it's going to be a ripple effect. So that's kind of the process of prospecting. And I mean, how you have your $1 million list to help you get started, and just like literally having those phone calls with people. And then also, I mean, social media is a very powerful tool as well. But I think that, and you guys have all been doing an amazing job on social media, and I'm so proud of everyone. I love going on my Instagram and watching all your stories. Yeah, I think everyone's just been getting so much better with not only how they talk about the products, but just like you yourself being more personable on your Instagram. You know, because if people really know, like, and respect you, they're going to want to do business with you. You know, they're going to take whatever you have to say more seriously. You know, even sharing like from tonight, like a clip from tonight, like our team call, and being like, you know, I loved this call tonight. People are really attracted to that. They're really attracted to the community. Yeah, just but then also like being like, hey, and I like did yoga this morning, or I can't go anywhere without doing my gratitude journal. Like people are gonna start to see you as kind of an inspiration and a person of authority in the field of health and wellness. And I think that really helps whenever you're using social media to build a business, which is kind of a whole another conversation. But really quickly, I want to get into like, I just want to touch on the energetics of all this, because you can't just do the physical things. You can't just have conversations and bring people through the process. You also have to be in the right vibration. You know, it's everything. That's why the goal setting is so important. That's why no matter what you do, it has to start with that, because when you set a goal, you are really tuning yourself to a certain frequency. You know, you're placing an intention out into the universe. And that's what makes all the difference in your behaviors and in what you attract. So, you know, I think that doing exercises like, for example, creating your perfect business partner, and then setting a goal of how many people you want to bring onto your team, reminding yourself, why am I doing this in the first place? Really like connecting to the vision you have for your life. Seeing yourself as that like boss, seeing yourself as a leader, seeing yourself having this amazing community of wellness entrepreneurs around you. That's what's going to help you tune yourself to the right frequency and then attract those people that are going to help you make it happen. Gratitude journal. A gratitude journal is so fundamental. That's something that I know I've been lacking in my personal practice, and something I'm really excited to bring back as I head into the month of May. I've decided that I'm going to start doing a gratitude journal every morning when I wake up, write down 10 things that I'm grateful for, because gratitude is obviously the frequency of abundance. When you're in a state of gratitude, you're going to naturally attract more because you put yourself in a receiving mode. So, being in literally give yourself a gratitude practice. It doesn't have to be a journal. It can be a meditation that you do every day. It can be, I don't know, what's another good gratitude practice? It can be giving something, like doing something kind for someone every day. I think that's a really great way to show gratitude for your life and for the people around you. But just doing something that really tunes you into that frequency of receiving and of abundance. I think that can very much help, especially as entrepreneurs, because we really are responsible for generating our own abundance. And it has to start on the energetic level first. You have to believe that it's possible. You have to see it in your mind and feel it in your heart. So yeah, I think that maybe take the first week of this month. Let's give some homework for this week. Yeah, maybe take the first week of this month to really recalibrate after the intense energies we've been experiencing, to set that goal for yourself, to start writing it down, and to create a gratitude practice for yourself, something that you can do every day that really leaves you feeling super abundant and connected to source. And then going into week 2, you definitely don't have to wait until week 2, but do what you need to do to get grounded, to get yourself set up energetically. It's kind of like sharpening the axe, before you cut the tree. 90% of the work should be sharpening the axe, because then, it just slices right through the tree. It's kind of like when you're tuning your frequency and you're getting your mindset right, and you're getting your energy in the right place, and you feel grounded and rooted, but also connected to source. You're okay, I can do this. You're sharpening the axe. And then, Sam just went out there and everything was just coming her way. Let me buy a waterfall from you, girl. Give it to me right now. That's cutting down the tree. But she obviously had her energy in the right place first. So take some time, take this week to really tap into that. Get yourself in the right state energetically. Set your goal for how many consultants you want to bring onto your team this month. Really feel gratitude for these beautiful souls who have decided to join you on this journey of entrepreneurship, who have decided to, be community builders in the Sovereign Life team. See their beautiful faces on this call and feel how grateful you feel to have them there, and how proud of yourself that you feel for, accomplishing this. And yeah, I think that's a good way to start the month off. And then we get to work. I met somebody really cool this week who, he was this older guy, but he was like a wizard for real. Yeah, Mom, nothing, I didn't call you. Okay. He was a wizard, I swear. And he was I've been thinking a lot about the art of creating your reality. And I realized that attraction isn't enough. There's also manifestation. And then he explained attraction is really about letting things go and creating the space to receive more, right? It's all about preparing yourself to receive. But then the actual manifestation, the act of bringing that thing into your reality so that you can see it in your hand and feel it and experience it in physical form, for that you have to get to work. You really got to move and make things happen. And that's not something we talk about enough when it comes to like manifesting your dreams. It's all about like seeing it and doing all the things, but it's really both actions at once. You have to move towards your goal and your goal has to move towards you. So yeah, it's like vibration, like get your vibration in the right place. And so that goal is going to start being magnetized to you. And then, yeah, exactly. Law of attraction plus law of action. And then you start moving towards your goal too. Start doing things in the physical reality that are going to get you there. So yeah, we're at, it's 6 o'clock now, 6:02, or sorry, it's 7:02 for me. My computer time is just like 3 hours behind for some reason. But I hope that that was a helpful call. And if you guys have anything to add, please, I would love to hear your thoughts. Any inspirational quotes that you have for us today? I know everyone's, yeah.
First of all, loved everything you said. I swear every Monday night, I say this every week, but every Monday night is like, it just fills my cup. I hear exactly what I need to hear. So thank you so much. There's something that's been on my mind for a while now. Megan and I have also been talking about this. Also, I'm just going to throw it out there again. Like Megan and I have been trying to meet up once a week just to have that like in-person brainstorm, strategize, talk about things that we can improve, that we can work on, whatever, because I have a very hard time doing this on my own. Like honestly, I need my hand held because I've never done any business anything. But what we were talking about is looking at more of like competition. Like I'm totally switching the conversation from more of the feminine energy to now masculine. I want to get into like the nitty gritty because it's been on my mind a lot lately. But competition, I think we should be talking about, especially with like Berkey Santevia, like the other countertop water filters, and like the market is just super oversaturated right now. So now that we're coming into this new era of like Niken, essentially, like we are setting the new path for this whole company, right? Because everyone else that made like tons of money in this company are of the like older generations, right? But now we're like the brand new generation. We're starting fresh. It's like a brand new company almost in some sort of a sense. Like that's the way I'm seeing it. So I don't know if like, sorry?
I said, I totally agree.
Yeah. So what Meg and I were talking about is like, I feel like on a whole company-wide level, like we need to like almost kind of in a way like rebrand and remodel like the products. Like the fact that like this water filter is plastic can turn a lot of people away from it. Like even for me, I had a hard time investing in it because I was like, like it's plastic, you know, like there's Berkey's metal, Santevia, I think is glass. You know what I mean? Like most people want either metal or glass. Like they don't want plastic anything these days. And I get it. It's PFAS free and like yada, yada. I get it. It's like high quality plastic. But at the same time, if we're talking about like a business, like competitor kind of mindset, that's something we should take to the top of the company to be like, maybe we should consider creating like a glass water filter, or and like someone mentioned in the group chat about the water, the shower head in the shower, how it's like not aesthetically pleasing. And like as unfortunate as that is, that it's a very important thing for people, but like that's just the reality, is like everything is about aesthetics these days. So I don't know, I was like, maybe we could just as a team present this. Obviously I know Mike has a lot of pull, and we could just, I don't know, I want to get everybody else's thoughts because I've been thinking about this for a while.
I agree. Can I touch on this real quick?
Yes,
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of value in the perspective that we have moving forward, and I think there's so much that can be innovated and improved moving forward with Niken. especially because we're going to be, like you said, we're going to be paving the way forward. We know what people want and need now. And we live in a day and age where so many different things are now possible, especially when competitors are showing us that. So I think that because we're essentially like the first team of our generation that are doing this, our feedback is going to be very valuable for them. If we can come together as a team and create some type of like form or way of communicating with them, what improvements can be made, what we're seeing, what ideas we have, like innovating alongside them. Like, I think that's something that definitely needs to happen and something that we can continue to create as a team. But I also want to encourage us just for our own mindset. Also, guys, if this doesn't come across very clearly, again, I'm like sick brain right now, so just excuse me. But something I noticed for myself, I think Sophia and Savannah and I all noticed it when we first got started with our business, was we were focusing in on a lot of the things that we didn't like and the things that needed improvement and some of the things that we didn't personally have control over. Now, that's not to say that we don't want to bring awareness to things that can be improved, because I do believe that there's always room for improvement. And I think that we're actually going to be the ones who are going to help to facilitate that change. Because again, we're working within a new day and age, we're working within a new era. We're a big part of that. But just for your own sake, as we move through that change, there's going to be a lot of growing pains. And so where is your mindset focused within your business? Is it going to be on where the problems lie, or is it going to be on where the solutions? And I just want to make sure that as a team, as we go forward with some of these changes and we bring forward new rooms, new areas for improvement and new ideas for innovation, that we continue to focus in on the solution, or we continue to focus to be a part of the solution rather than problem oriented. Because if we focus on the problems, a lot of what we're going to see are problems. Whereas when we continue to focus on what we have control over and the solutions, that's what's going to be reflected back to us. And I'll give you an example. An example for me is the shipping cost. I have my own issues with the shipping cost, but that's something that's like I've noticed well in the past. And I was working with a team member of mine who had a lot of issues, would bring to my awareness, the issue with the shipping cost, to the point where, somebody didn't buy a sport bottle because they didn't want to pay for the shipping. And I've never had that issue before, where I'm focused on educating on the value of the product. I'm not focused on the issue of the $20 shipping fee, because naturally I know if I'm going into this interaction with the customer thinking that it's too expensive or that the shipping is going to be an issue, then obviously that's going to be reflected in that trend, like in the way that takes place, in the outcome of that transaction, of that experience, right? So again, just being mindful of how our intentions and our awareness going into these new, like these novel situations, into these new experiences, is also going to play a very big role in what gets reflected to us in our reality. So continue to, like, I'm so for keeping like, an open mind for areas for change and improvement, but also continue to focus in on a lot of the things that we like specifically have control over. Cause I'm realizing there's some things that there's a lot of growing pains right now. And it's a little bit difficult because we're kind of like steering the ship in that. We're like ready to run into the new generation, but it's almost like there's a little bit of a lag in terms of Nikan having to catch up with where we're at. So I definitely feel like we're going to play a big role in helping them move forward in that direction. That was just
the reason Elena's bringing this up is because like we've literally been there to a point where we were just so frustrated with all the problems that we were like, it was really stifling like our ability to actually build a business.
Exactly.
We don't want that to be the case for any of you, because we know it's so easy to focus on all the things that could be improved. But at the same time, I think that we do carry a lot of weight in the company. And I don't think it's enough for us to just get Luis on a call. Like Luis, the CEO of the company, I don't think it's enough for us to just get him on a call and just like start throwing at him like all the fucking we see. I think that what we would have to do as a team is like maybe work on like a PowerPoint presentation and pick like 3 things that we want changed. And then like present that.
Yeah.
because it is going to be like a process, a step-by-step process. We're not going to get a waterfall made of glass tomorrow, but what we can do is like really make our voices heard in a way that is like actionable, like where he can actually take that and be like, okay, team, like these are the 3 things that we're going to work on over the next 6 months, so I think that would be really great. And Maddie, I see that you're super passionate about it. I mean, how do you feel about like kind of taking the lead on that project? Maybe create.
Yeah, I would love to.
That's great.
All I would ask the team is that if we could even maybe have like a dedicated night where people all share what they think about it, because it's not just about me. Like I want everyone to be on the same page about this. So if everyone can share things that they find about the product that can be improved, because I'm just finding like, because I'm already in the wellness community, everybody else, like it is very hard for someone like me to sell in a community that people already know about alkaline water. They already know about Kangen and Santivia and Berkey, and like they already know about the benefits of drinking water. Right. So it's like, how do we stand out from these competitors? Because it's tough. It's oversaturated. A million different options. And like what's so great about the Niken waterfall? That you're going to want to spend a little bit more money, because I think it is like,
well, when you're comparing to Berkey and Santivia, Berkey doesn't give you alkaline water. It just gives you clean water. So that's kind of the main difference there. Yeah. And when it comes to Santivia is a bootleg version of the Niken waterfalls that was made by consultants who went off and thought that they could make it better for cheaper. And obviously whenever that happens, like you're going to compromise some of the quality.
100%. So plus none of them have the patented like magnetic.
It doesn't have the magnetics either.
Exactly. So if you're wondering how it actually stands alone, because what sets it apart is the quality of the system itself. So that comes down to, again, educating people on the value of what it is that they're getting. Even Kangen, like we can continue to go on and on about how Kangen and Niken systems are very different and why between the two, Niken is a more valuable comparable in every way. And Niken is also the cheapest, the most affordable out of all of the different systems that are out.
I think Berkey and Santivia are more affordable than
Niken. Okay. But there's a lot of, Niken definitely stands alone in a number of different ways when it comes to the value of the system itself. But I do think there's a lot of feedback to be heard regardless. Like I do think that there's so much changing today, and there's like a lot of, there's just a lot of valuable feedback that can be taken forward. Whether it's from about the actual product itself or more about the customer experience. There's just a lot. So
even when it comes to aesthetics, like I've had people who have problems with like what the Niken waterfall looks like, but I'm also like, then if it was made out of stainless steel, some other people would probably have problems with that too. So
and so that's
what the water filter looks like. Cool.
But that's the thing too, like you start to realize
cool too, but
when you get into this too, like you also start to realize like there's going to be certain people like who the purchase to them comes down to the aesthetic, which at the end of the day, they then just don't understand the value of what it is that they're getting. So then it becomes a question of, have I done my job to explain the value? And then if I have, do they really care at the end of the day about improving the quality of water that they drink? Do they care about their overall state of health? If it's because of the aesthetic, then the answer is probably no, it's not that much of a priority for them. And then that's okay. That's just where they end.
I think with the shower head, we can definitely offer more options so that it matches someone's bathroom.
I agree.
That's like a pretty reasonable ask.
Right.
So I think Maddie, what we'll do, we're all going to contribute. Obviously, I'm just asking you to kind of take the lead. Maybe on next week's team call, we can take 30 minutes and just kind of all brainstorm in a document and give.
Yeah. I like that.
How does that sound?
I think that would be really beneficial if, like, I think that would be probably one of the biggest impacts we can do as a team as we are kind of paving the way for this new Nikan generation.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I agree. I agree,
Mhm.
guys. And
Because like
trust me,
everybody's an
Nikan is
influencer
cool.
these days and everybody's selling something these days.
Yeah.
So we have to like really stand out. You know what I mean?
Totally. And Nikan is also doing a lot of work internally to like improve their, I know we say that all the time, but like I actually do see that happening. Like I'm working on a project right now that's going to give us like more incentive trips that are going to make them a bit more accessible to anyone. It really puts everyone on an even playing field, and it's going to have to do with building your team. So this month is a great practice for that, because if you get good at building your team, you could literally get paid to go on like trips all around the world, you know? So it's pretty sweet. And like Nikan's building an app. Like how awesome is that going to be? We're going to be able to track all the like, so there's something called CRI, customer relations interface, something like that. CRM, customer relation management. And this is something that's so important for our business, and we have no way of doing it online. Like, so you just have to be responsible for your own, you know, for keeping track of everyone that you talk to. But imagine we had a database where we could like literally go in and see, like, we could keep track of all our potential customers, all our potential prospects. We could mark like where they're at in the process. We could make notes about them, about like what they're interested in, what products caught their eye, like all these different things. Even if you had like maybe a database that showed your customer and like how long it's been since they bought a filter, and like gives you a reminder like, hey, reach out to this person because they need to change their filter now. That's what Nikan's building for us on the back end through this app. And it's just going to give us a lot more accessibility to the tools that we need, to the media that we need. So there's a lot of updates happening. I mean, I see Nikan even trying on social media to like put out more usable content for us. And obviously there's room for improvement there, but Savannah's working with the marketing team to give them some funner and fresher ideas. So like, it's happening, you know, and I'm definitely here for the long haul. That's why I'm not in like a rush to see things happen tomorrow, because I know it's a big process and I want to be around for the next like 10 years to reap the benefits of it. So yeah, 10, 20, 30 years, who knows how long, but yeah, so, but we're definitely like part of that change. And I think that, you know, they want to hear from us. And we have a really unique perspective that other in Nikan just can't offer. So Maddie, thank you so much for bringing that up. I'm really like, we love the masculine energy come through. We need more of that sometimes.
I need to balance myself out though. I have like, I have an energy healer that I have sessions with like regularly. And she was like, cause I was like, man, my right side is just off. I have knots, my right knee hurts, like all this stuff. She's like, you got to get out of your masculine. You got to like balance that out. You know what I mean? Yeah. So
you're masculine, not get into
if
it.
your right side of your body, I think your right side is for your feminine.
Oh,
Right is masculine, left
so
is
right was
feminine.
masculine and left is feminine.
Yes, exactly. So like since my right side is kind of off, she was like, yeah, like I think you're a little bit too much in your masculine. Which is funny. I just feel like I'm out of balance.
Yeah, I know. I'm working on getting my root chakra in check, because I know that's so tied to like my business results as well. So I finally got my own place. I'm gonna have my own space for the first time in 5 months, guys.
Wow.
I'm just like super honoring my root chakra, and I'm gonna like buy candles and incense and flowers and like just make it such a like cozy home for a month where I can really feel grounded and, you know, meet my goals, because I definitely want to grow my team this month. So yeah. All right. Well, let's call it a night. Thank you guys all so much for showing up tonight, for your time, for your energy, for your amazing contributions. I hope that you take everything we talked about today to heart. Really take the week again to set your intentions, to get your energy in the right place for a successful month ahead. Sharpen the axe, and then let's chop some wood and build ourselves a fire. Okay. Have a good night, everyone.
Have a great night, guys.
Thanks, guys.